everyone, my name is Payal Ashok Raut, an assistant professor from Department of Geography, Nauroji Wadia College, Pune. In this video, today we are going to discuss some subtopics from the generic subject Indian Knowledge System, which has been designed for FY BA BSc. In this video, we are going to discuss about the geophysical aspects, geophysical resources, indigenous knowledge systems of tribal communities. As we know, in our country, we have various tribal groups. We have around 400, approximate about 400 to 700 tribal groups, where the few are very important tribes which play important role in their respective regions. So the name of these tribes are Bhil, Gond, Santhal, Naga, etc. So we are going to discuss characteristics of these tribal groups further. Tribe, this word is been derived from the it is nothing but the three territorial group which was united to make the Rome. Also, India's culture is full of various cultures and language and traditions. So these tribal groups blend all these cultures together, and that is why it is also known as the melting pot of tribes. As per Census 2011, India has approximately 8.6% of tribal people in India's population, which is the second largest concentration of tribal population in the world. Indian tribes have been lived for thousands of years in forest and hilly areas without any communication through the civilized regions, that is the civilizations which we know, Harappan civilization, Mohenjo-daro civilizations, etc. The definition for the tribe given by the Oxford Dictionary is: a tribe is a group of people in a primitive or barbarous stage, that is the uncivilized stage, where they have one person as a chief who authorizes everything with respect to their tribes and their cultures and their languages, which have a common ancestor. The other definitions are given by D.N. Mazumdar, L.M. Lewis. Coming to the characteristics of tribal communities, first we have is distinctive culture. As we know, tribal people have different beliefs and different traditions and languages and arts. So this makes them distinct in nature. Second is geographical isolation. As we know, there are many physical features like hilly region, mountainous region, plain plateau regions, valley region, where many tribal people settle down according to their convenience, according to their use of environment, and that is why we get to see many different tribes which have many different characteristics as per the geographical locations. Next, we have indications of primitive culture. These tribal people are lack of written languages, slow rate of socio-cultural change. They have small populations. So whenever these particular group of population has these characteristics, they can be said as they are the indications of primitive cultures, and they can be said as a tribal group of people. Shyness with the contact to other communities, because it is genetical, environmental and life experiences which make these tribal communities a bit shy in nature. The backwardness also plays a very important role to make a group of people a tribe. So basically, India is a country, though India is a country with vast diversity, but still there are over 700 tribes in India, and which the highest percentage of tribal population is in Madhya Pradesh of India. Moving further, geophysical aspects of tribal communities. In that, this first point we are going to discuss is geographical location. As I told you, geographical locations vary from place to place. So we have mostly common classifications which are done on territorial basis are northeastern zone, central zone and southern zone. So according to northeastern zone, we have mostly mountainous region, central zone we have mostly plain region, and southern zone we have plateau region. In geophysical aspects of tribal communities, the first point we are going to discuss is geographical location. On the basis of territorial categorization, first we have northeastern zone, where we get to see many tribal groups in eastern Kashmir, eastern Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, which are named as Akka, Mishmi, Chulikata and Naga. Similarly, in central zone in Bihar, Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, we get to see few tribes which are known as Kond, Santhal, Bhil, Gond, etc. In southern zone, we get to see the tribes which are named as Chensu, Kadar, Koraga, etc. Besides this, in our island region, that is Andaman and Nicobar Island, we get to see many tribal groups which have distinctive characteristics. Those are named as Jarawa, Andamanis and Nicobaris. Coming to second aspect, which is linguistic based or language based. Over here we have 4 types of languages on which the tribal groups are being divided. The first we have is Dravidian language, which we can see into the map that Keralites mostly, which goes for 99.2%, speak mostly Dravidian languages. And next we have Austroasiatic language, which is spoken mostly in mainland Southeast Asia, and which this particular language is natively from Vietnam and Cambodia. But in India, mostly this particular language is spoken in West Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, etc. Again, this language is being subdivided into further languages. The third linguistic or language base we have is Sino-Tibetan. Sino-Tibetan is mostly spoken in Mizoram and Manipur. It is also said as the second largest language spoken by the people in the world. In this we have Siamese Burmese and Tibeto-Burman. So Tibeto-Burman is spoken in Tibeto-Himalayan branch, then western subgroup of pre-nominalized Himalayan group, non-pre-nominalized Himalayan group, and Arunachal branch, and Assam Burmese branch. Next we have is Indo-Aryan or Indo-European language, which is mostly spoken in Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. We can see in the map that Rajasthan people, which contributes like 99.8% of the population, speak in Indo-Aryan languages. Over here, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Marathi, Maharashtra, Assam, the tribes in these particular regions speak Marathi, Assamese, Oriya, Chhattisgarhi, Gujarati, which is a sub-group of Indo-Aryan language. Next geophysical aspect of tribal communities we have is racial characteristics, which has been divided into 3 parts. First is Negritos, that is the population, the tribal population which resides in South India, who have medium height, frizzy short hair and spirally hair, are known as Negritos. These tribal groups are known as Irulas, Punyans, Kadars, which are mostly from South India and Rajmahal Hills. Next we have is Australoid. Australoid are mostly seen in the Andhra Pradesh, or we can say the central part of the country, So these people have dark skin color, they are short in height, and mostly the tribes which have such characteristics are Mundas, Santals and Orayons, which stay near in Chota Nagpur plateau. Next we have is Mongoloids. Mongoloids specifically are long-headed and broad-headed, which are being seen in Himalayan regions like in Assam or Burma regions. The tribal groups are the Mangs, the Chakmas, and then we have Tibeto-Mongoloids, which have a broad and massive heads, flat and long face, with skin color is light brown. So these tribes, these Mongoloids which come under tribal group are seen in Bhutan and Sikkim. Further, in geophysical aspect of tribal communities, we have cultural integration. It is a sense of unity and respect for other cultures which we have to maintain. They have to maintain their identity. According to the 5th schedule of our Indian Constitution, it grants autonomy to some tribal areas through regional councils, which help these tribal people to develop themselves and preserve their cultures. As we can see in this given map on the screen, major cultural regions in India, where we get to see Madhwar region, Telangana region, Desh, Odisha, Khosal region, Awadh region. They have isolated ecology, economy, religious beliefs and society, and that is why this culture cultural contact had given rise to different set type of tribes on accumulation level. Further, we are going to discuss the economic characteristics under this geophysical aspects of tribal communities. Every economic activity or occupation is dependent on a particular region, on that particular geographical area. So first of all, these tribal groups are mostly related to primary activities, primary economic activities. So first is shifting cultivation, where these tribal people who are from Baiga tribes do mostly shifting cultivation, where they practice cultivation and after few years they cut the tree from there and burn the remaining parts of the cultivated hills and they shift to some other place to cultivate the crops. This particular burnt part regains its fertility naturally after few years, where they can start cultivating the products again. So jhum cultivation among the tribes of northeastern states like Garo, Khasi, Jantia, Lepcha tribes are few tribes who practice this cultivation. Next, we have settled agricultural cultivation or permanent cultivation, where such practices has been conducted in central part of India by such as tribal groups such as Gonds, Oraon, Santals, Muria. Third economic characteristics or economic occupational characteristics we have is simple artisans. As we know, there is good demand of handmade products recently. So all these products are mostly made by the tribal people, which are sold in the market, like folk arts, handicrafts or handmade articles like handloom cloths we can see, like bamboo items, chair, teacup, plate, etc. So also the government has given Van Dhan Yojana, which helps tribal artisans to develop business plans and operate sustainably. As we know, even in our daily life, we use bamboo products which are being made by these tribes. So the handloom textiles, or we can say the saris like Varanasi, Banarasi, are also made by these artisans from tribal communities. Next we have is pastoralist tribes, where these tribes depend upon the dairy products like milk, buttermilk, curd, etc. They are dependent on the cattle, where they do animal husbandry and cattle breeding for their earning. This particular occupation is carried by the Gadi of Himachal Pradesh, Toda tribes from Nilgiri hills of. Now we have come to an end with the discussion session, where we had discussed the tribal communities, their geophysical aspects and indigenous knowledge with respect to resources. So at the last, I would like to tell everyone that do not give up. Thank you.